Hey guys, I just got back from that shoot with James Patrick and Amanda Bland. Amanda Bland is like a makeup extraordinaire. Like, look at my makeup. So I figured, hey, I'll just do a video. I'm all dolled up, might as well. This is basically the extent of my Tuesday, but we did a gym shoot at the end. She did this like totally fab braid too, which I absolutely love. I wish I could do more creative things with my hair. But I wanted to take a second and talk about willpower. I know that was a question that people were asking about the Thanksgiving thing. My dog is still in a cone. No, Kuma. So I wanted to just touch on that for a second. With willpower, the thing that's important to recognize is willpower can only be used so much. We all only have so much willpower. We're all human beings. It doesn't matter who you are. There's really no such thing as you have better willpower than me or whatnot. It's something that takes practice. You can exercise. The more you exercise it, the better it'll get. And then also with that being said, the better it will get to a point, because if you're constantly putting yourself around temptation and you're constantly putting yourself thanks, girl. I know, right? I need to go out right now. Everyone's like, date night. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to take these lashes off and pick up my son from tutoring. So the most important thing is that you make sure that you're understanding that willpower can only be used so much in one day. So if willpower can only be used so much in one day, you only have enough for what's going on with your family. You only have enough for what's going on with your job. You only have enough for what's going on with your friends and social life and things like that. All of these different things that are stressing us and pulling us in different directions, they're all using our willpower. They're all using our time, and it's going to drain it, kind of like a battery, like on your cell phone. It's slowly going to drain throughout the day. So when it comes to willpower and your diet, you need to start learning the most that you can about yourself, okay? You need to start learning about yourself and understanding what makes you tick and when you're probably going to fall victim to in that pitfall of just having the really bad eating habits or having something go awry. For me, when I was working at my desk job, it was Monday through Friday. I was a school nurse, for those of you that don't know, for 2 years before we got the business going, and I kind of was able to just work from home. I would work from 7:30 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon. When I got home at 3:30, it was inevitable that there was something that happened during the day that completely just got me stressed out. Besides that, being a school nurse of 1,200 kids, you're using your brain a lot, you're multitasking, you have a lot going on. So I was getting mental fatigue, which was causing me to feel more fatigued physically than I actually was. So is that the best time for me to plan to do my workout? 3:30. No, it's not the best time. Is that the best time for me to decide that I'm going to come home and I'm going to make an elaborate meal for myself to eat at my 3 o'clock meal? No, it's not. The best thing for me to do at 3:30 when I know that I need to regroup after my long work day was to have some couch time, just veg out, and grab a protein bar. So I needed to rearrange the rest of my day so that I was using the least amount of willpower, because all I was going to do, I wanted something sweet. I wanted to just hang out. So to not get down on myself, I went with that trend, and I would just grab my chocolatey protein bar and I'd sit on the couch. I kind of regroup my thoughts, and then I would make a decision about doing my workout later on. Once I kind of gathered everything, I felt refreshed. Maybe I had my second cup of coffee. I'd have one in the morning and then one in the afternoon. Got myself moving again. So you don't want to set yourself up for failure, and you don't want to get through past too much willpower. So when you walk in the door, if you know that that's you Monday through Friday, don't walk in the door and leave a ton of sweet treats all over where you can just grab them. Don't leave them in front of you. If you know that's you at work and you are just so drained and you're so exhausted, then maybe you don't want to go to the break room cafeteria where you know that everyone's celebrating so-and-so's birthday and there's 1,000 cupcakes there and you're probably not going to be able to just take one. You need to realize, have a good sense of where you're at in your day. If you're like, okay, I'm having a pretty bad day, there's a good chance I could fall off the handle. I'm getting stressed out so much. The more stress I'm under, the more exhausted I am, the more likely I am to grab, any of the wrong choices. So when I'm feeling those ways, I'm going to use the least amount of willpower. I'm not going to make a decision to do a 2-hour workout. I'm not going to make a decision to cook an elaborate meal. Like I said, I'm not going to decide to food prep that evening. I'm not going to go and put myself in front of a lot of treats. I'm going to use my willpower wisely. So now there's going to be some days, and we all know we have them. We might have these crummy days every now and then, but we also have really good days. And those are the days that I want you guys to consider really capitalizing on those good days. If you wake up in the morning and you are feeling amazing, then get an extra a little bit of strength training in. You know, add another set to your workout. You know, really maximize how you're feeling. When you get home from that workout, that's the time, you know, capitalize on it. Meal prep. Maybe you weren't supposed to meal prep for 2 days, but you're feeling absolutely amazing right now. Get some of this stuff out of the way. I think that what I'm learning personally for me, because I was very unsuccessful with my fitness goals when I first started my desk job. And the reason I was so unsuccessful is because I'm a perfectionist and I'm not flexible with my time and my schedule. And probably not getting to know, you know, who I am as a person as well as I needed to, and know my strengths and know my weaknesses. And instead of constantly trying to change myself into something I'm not, the best thing for me to do was work with the person who I am. So when I was first at my desk job, like I was saying, it was really hard for me because I couldn't work out at the exact time that I had always worked out and the exact time that I wanted to. But that's okay. It's okay if you have to switch things up. It's okay if one day you fall short on your macros or one day you're too exhausted to hit up your workout. You will make up for it if you capitalize on the times that you have the most motivation. If you realize that the mass amount of your results comes from being consistent over the period of a long time, that 1 or 2 days when you fall off isn't a big deal. The times that it's a big deal is when 1 or 2 days are the days that you're spot on. So the bigger deal is when only a couple days come about, you fall off on those couple days. That's okay. Just jump back up and get back to it. And then being flexible with your workouts and changing the different times that you're going to work out if you need to. And understanding, first of all, we all know that if you plan your workout, if you're one of those people that can plan it for before you go to work, before you start your day, that is the absolute most likely scenario that you will make your workout. If you sit there and wait until and put it at the very, very end of the day, at the very last thing that you're going to do, life can get in the way and there's a better chance that you're going to miss it. So if you can make it your first thing, then that's going to give you a higher probability of completing it. If you can't, that's okay. Then we just have to go with the flow and just make it work. So if I could give you guys a tip about willpower, is we all only have so much. If you are the person that's going to constantly put themselves in front of situations when you're dieting that are hard for you to control, if you're going to constantly be going to happy hour and you're not going to have friends that are supportive and they're going to leave a bunch of food in front of you, and you already fought not to eat food out of the break room all day at work, and now you're going to go and hang out with these friends that are going to have all of this other stuff in front of you too, and then you're going to get home and you have all of these snacks in your cabinet that are constantly calling your name. It's too much. It's just too much. So you want to sit there and take apart some of the things that are draining on your willpower every single day. And then on the other hand, you can't remove everything. And so you'll practice when you can, and you want to work on getting into really good food habits and moderation. And keep in mind, like I said on the Thanksgiving thing, food will always be there. It will always be there. That's something that took me a while. You guys all know, and I definitely will touch on it more, my struggles with binge eating and eating too much at one sitting. A big thing for me was like, I had a cheat meal. It was Saturday. I'm not going to get another Saturday for an entire week. I am going to have to eat as much of this food as I can because it's not going to be here. With flexible dieting, we all know it's going to be there tomorrow. So my favorite saying, you know, so he's the one who said this to me, and I say it to everyone, you can have anything that you want, just maybe not all at once. And when you start realizing how powerful small portions can truly be when you're eating mindfully, and when you start realizing how you can work with your willpower and make it work in your favor, when you understand that you're a human being, we are all human beings, and no one has this infinite strength, ability, willpower, and stamina. I mean, we are all going to feel fatigued. When you start realizing those things about you, capitalize on the times that you feel great. Leave some of the things that drain your willpower out, and make things easy for yourself. When you know if there's a certain set time in your week that you're just not feeling it, make that the easiest part of your day. For me, like I said, that was 3:30 when I got home from work. I was never feeling it at 3:30 when I got home. I was exhausted. I would, like I said, grab my protein bar that had some chocolate in it, gave me that little craving killer, sweet tooth killer, and just kind of vegged out, regroup my thoughts. I hope that this helps. If you guys have struggles with willpower and habit forming, I really want you to take a look at what you can remove so that you can strengthen your willpower and you can make things more manageable for you. And that way you're not draining your willpower with so many things you can avoid. Another huge thing, I almost forgot about it, and this is the biggest tip. A huge thing that's going to drain your willpower is not planning your day ahead on MyFitnessPal if you are counting your macros, because you're going to sit there at every meal and at every meal have to make a decision, and guess what, at every meal you're probably going to want something that's not the absolute best choice, especially as your day goes on, and all of these other things that I was telling you about are draining your willpower. They're being drained by work, they're being drained by family, they're being drained by kids, they're being drained by, I mean, I'm trying to think of things like maybe your dog's like mine and the hair's everywhere, but it's slowly going to just drain you and drain you. So if you're sitting there on FitnessPal, by the end of the night, you're more likely to be like, forget it. So if you can make your life easier by planning your day ahead, that's removing one thing that could stress you out, one more thing that could start draining your willpower. You'll just be going along and checking off the little boxes. You know, you have what you're going to eat all planned. You have your stuff all prepared. Less of a chance for you to fall into the dieting pitfall. So I hope these things helped. Two huge things, like I said, willpower and habit forming. Those are huge things that will really contribute to your success. Start forming those good habits, and pretty soon it's going to be second nature, I promise. And with willpower, just remember, you don't have an endless supply. So I hope you guys have a really great day, and I hope that this video helped.